at the campus of the Nova Scotia Community College in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and we're actually going to walk right over to the exterior living wall that's on the front face of the building. I'm Sue Surs, and I'm a landscape architect, and I own a company called Outside Planning and Design Studio. 8 years ago, I led the project and worked collaboratively with Tim Amos from King's Tech campus. We worked with a really valuable team of people who made this happen. To the best of my knowledge, it remains the only permanent exterior living wall in eastern Canada. We have a really harsh climate here, and so this was quite something to get installed. We designed it always with the intent that we would actually learn from the wall. So it's time to do a 5-year retrospective on how is the wall done. 6-year retrospective, actually. I think they're a wonderful idea when you think about that this could have been a blank wall, and so many of our cities have blank walls, you know, in the pedestrian zone. I think this has a lot of opportunity to make things more engaging, more interesting, more ecological in our cities. So when we first started with this project, we had a planting plan and a design for the wall. And it was based on all the plants that we had grown, what we had tried, and we settled on 24 different species. And so what's interesting for us as we watch the wall is how it's transitioned. Some things grew really well and others didn't grow as well as we had expected, but new things came in. We always knew that and in fact the design intent was to allow Mother Nature to help this evolve into its own little ecosystem. And that's really happened. For example, some of these Bergenia up here the Bergenia has done very well. Over here, this beautiful rock polypody. So this is a rock fern that grows as a native here in our forest. One of the things that Tim and I are very interested in seeing are things like the bryophyte community, and mosses and ferns that have emerged. This kind of thing right here. So this is what we were hoping for as our backdrop over time, is this kind of moss collection. You can see that the lady's mantle and some of the other things that you would see commonly in people's gardens have done well. You can also see that we've surprisingly got a large number of strawberries growing on the wall. I think we should seize the moment and snag the last strawberry of the season off the living wall. So it's November 4th, and I'm going to have a little snack. So there are things that should have been absolutely successful. There's some ivies on this wall that they're hands down, we can't get rid of it in other places. And it didn't survive here. We always felt that it was important to allow it to evolve. Whatever plants were gonna live and thrive on the wall were the ones that we wanted to see come forward. So we've seen a fair bit of plant transition over the time. We've also had some spectacular success with weeds on the wall, and some of those I have requested maintained that stay, and they come and go. Right? We had really beautiful barn grass one year growing off the top of the wall, so it stood up over the top and became a bird's nest for a while. A couple of the things that have been trimmed out of here are things like poplar trees, red maple trees. I would have preferred to have seen them allowed to grow, but it is interesting people's expectations that it looked the same as how we originally designed it. That's something I as a designer didn't ever count on. It never occurred to me. You know, one of the things about being a designer is you put it out there and you put it out in the universe and somebody else is actually responsible for maintaining it. So you don't get to hold on to it, right? We're really fortunate that the college has someone with horticultural experience dedicated to the care of the wall. While it's being taken care of, though, it's not being babied. This wall faces a pretty harsh reality every year, and not surprisingly, the results change every year from year to year. But overall, it thrives as an ecosystem, and that's really pretty darned amazing. This is our learning tool. This is what we really wanted to, come back and actually do this. So the next step here is we're actually doing an inventory of the plants that have come into the wall over time. And so we'll have some documentation on that.